Morgan sports car is a driver's car. It's a car that brings a lot of pleasure to whoever's actually owning it and whoever's looking after it. The first Morgan prototype was a Morgan runabout and was actually built in 1909. So the company's almost as old as the car industry itself. In the UK, in the Edwardian era, there were many, many motor manufacturers. Almost everybody thought they could design a car. Now there were some good engineers, of course, who were designing the better cars, and I think my grandfather was one of those. I think the Morgan three-wheeler got more reliability awards than any other car of its time. In fact, if you go to the factory, we've still got the records to prove it. My grandfather's three-wheeler design lasted an awful long time. It lasted from essentially 1910 right up till the Second World War. There were just a few built after the Second World War, and they in fact all ended up in Australia. The introduction in 1936 of a four-wheeler Morgan marked the second phase, if you like, of the company's history. In fact, it won its class at Le Mans the first year it was actually announced, and went on, obviously up till the war, to be one of the bigger sellers of the company history. My father was educated at Chelsea Engineering College, which gave him an engineering background. He actually joined the Royal Engineers, managing vehicle workshops for the Army during the Second World War. So he was quite well qualified to run a car factory. And when he came back, we started exporting to Germany, we started exporting to France, and we then became very successful exporting to America, because the Americans loved the English sports car, and the Morgan was the fastest, so it was winning all the races.
William & Son is a luxury store. The purpose of this shop is for me to be able to continue doing what my family are good at. I am 7th generation.
And what were the Asprey family doing in the first generation?
In the first generation we were calico printers, French Huguenots who came over from France in the 1700s, and the Huguenots traditionally were the artisans and craftsmen. And then we were in Bond Street for 150 years. The company became famous when it won its award at the Great Exhibition. We won awards for our travel cases and for luggage, but then progressing from there to putting more emphasis into the contents of the bag.
Yes.
You know, the hairbrushes became silver, they became ivory, they became inlaid. The royal warrants were for goldsmiths, silversmiths and jewellers. Goldsmithing, I would think, has always been very strong with the objet and things which historically we've made. We survived because of the variety of product. And then, of course, our own workshops, our own design studios, and actually someone will come in and say, well, I like that, but can I slightly change it? The answer is, well, yes, of course.